Okay, so Arsenal take on West Ham on Saturday, 24 hours before Liverpool go to Manchester City. A victory for the Gunners will put them just 5 points behind the league leaders.
It's going to be a tough one tomorrow against West Ham, and if we do that, obviously we'll be looking at that game on Sunday. But it's 13 games to go still. There's still a lot to play, and you can see how difficult it is for everybody to win football matches. So we really need to be there.
Arsenal are a top team, but I think it's a good game for us in terms of responding to the disappointment against Brentford, and we're looking forward to it. We've had a good week again. That we've had to deal with the disappointment of the last game, and now we're looking forward to a real big challenge, because that's what it is. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, it certainly is. It was a big challenge for Arsenal to find a replacement up front with Kai Havertz being injured. They found one in Merino. Does he start on Saturday, do you think?
He's certainly got a shout to start. I think he's a good fit. I think they do have slightly other options if they want to, play with more of a false nine. But I think he's someone who's got an eye for goal. He most likely will be the natural one that will fit in there. And the other players who've contributed to goals this season, I think sometimes Havertz got a lot of criticism, and now he's got injured. A lot of people are sort of worried that he's out, which is sort of interesting how that sometimes happens. But Merino's certainly a player that can finish, and that's ultimately what they need.
I mean, sometimes you've got to do a job for the team. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But at the minute, I mean, it's desperate measures. For such a long time now, we've been speaking about Arsenal. Trying to get a number 9 in. It's not happened, and that situation where other players have got to now step up. And you mentioned about a false 9. You've seen teams do that, but you still fancy them to sort of like have too much for West Ham.
They create chances, so whoever's in the 9, or wide areas, they will create chances.
It was a difficult watch, though, for them going forward. Probably the best of the lot was Ethan Nwaneri in terms of creating. What do we think about him? One of the academy players who've really shone this season. Yeah,
really exciting young talent. I think you don't want to make too much of it, because that when you're that age, it's really important that you keep developing, you keep improving, you keep having that desire to want to keep getting better, because good moments will always catch the eye, but you've got to keep doing them. That's what makes the best players, and he's certainly shown how much quality he does have. He's obviously got great confidence. Players that play in attacking third, to get off the mark in terms of goals is always as well a good confidence boost. But really direct player, technically very
just fearless, isn't it? I think young players come into teams now and just fearless. You go there and you're just sort of like at academy level. We played against him, when I was at Tottenham in the academy under 18s. He was obviously younger, and you could just tell straight away that he was just the levels. You knew he was a Premier League footballer. At any stage, you knew he was getting the Arsenal first team and that. But he's a brilliant player. But like I said, you're just fearless and you just want to play, and you sort of like can get away with the mistakes. And probably like next season and the season after, hopefully he's still playing at that sort of level. That's when people will probably start asking questions and that, because like you said, there's one thing getting there, but once you get there, you've got to stay there. Because when you set those sort of standards high, people that expect it week in, week out and every season. So, but he's a top talent.
So the psychology of this one for Arsenal, with Liverpool playing on Sunday, they've always played a game more than Liverpool. Now Liverpool have played more games. They could narrow that gap, put pressure on the league leaders again. Do you think that will affect them, that kind of pressure, or do you think it's a little bit easier because they're chasing?
I don't think the pressure will affect them. I think they're in a position now where they're probably used to that pressure, that they're playing West Ham in the league at home. I think whenever this fixture came in the season, no matter how the table looked, there would be an expectation that Arsenal would win it. And so I think from that perspective, it's no different. They probably need to win it if they want to seriously consider themselves in contention. But I don't think the pressure will be so much the thing that changes. I think they're used to that. They've got to find a way to get the result.
Yeah, those are the next few games. West Ham at home, then at Nottingham Forest, obviously a big one, Man United, Chelsea, Fulham and Everton. Couple London derbies in there. West Ham is a derby as well, of course. What do you think West Ham can do in this game? And if the goals are going to come, do you assume Jarrod Bowen's going to have something to do with them?
Oh, what a player, Jarrod Bowen. He's been fantastic. Not just this season, obviously he's had his injuries. He's someone that's improved so much. You watch players and you can tell that, he's worked a lot on his finishing. He's strong as a willing runner. I was actually at this game, and then as soon as he gets the ball there, you just fancy him to score. He comes inside, he hits it so quick, really powerful. And again, this is another good finish. Comes inside, it's a great finish, and you do if they're going to do anything good, he's always involved. Obviously they've got Paqueta, Kudos again, who's another good player from set pieces. Got Souček, but it'll be a tough game in that. But I think if they've got a chance of winning it, they have to provide chances for this guy.
Rachel?
Yeah, and he's also been asked to do a different job. I think he's best when he plays off that right-hand side, but there's even been times this season and in the past where he's had to go and play in the 9, and he does that, and he's dangerous, and he scores really good goals, but he scores goals that are difficult to create. Sometimes when he receives the ball there, a couple of those chances, you're thinking, how's he going to find a way to work a shot? And he's just got that ability, backs himself, and some fantastic goals.
So we've got to go to a...
The Premier League title door has opened ever so slightly for Arsenal, who can move to within 5 points of leaders Liverpool by sinking London rivals West Ham United at the Emirates on Saturday afternoon. Mikel Arteta's men conquered Leicester City 2-0 last weekend thanks to a new attacking hero, while their visitors' plight continued in a painful 1-0 home loss to capital counterparts Brentford. With Liverpool now showing signs of vulnerability previously unseen under Arne Slot, 2 draws with Everton and Aston Villa either side of an unconvincing triumph over Wolverhampton Wanderers, Gunners may now have a glint in their eyes once more. The Arsenal faithful could have been forgiven for writing off their side's title chances after a costly trip to Dubai, which proved to be a season-saving trip in the 2-0-2-3-2-4 campaign, but was only a season-ending break for hamstring victim Kai Havertz this time around. The Gunners' failure to bring in a new attacker in January seemingly proved fatal against Leicester last weekend, only for makeshift marksman Mikel Merino to bag a late brace in the final 10 minutes and propel Arsenal to their 3rd Premier League win in succession. Arteta's men could have been as many as 10 points behind Liverpool at this juncture, but should Manchester City do them a massive favour this weekend while they take care of business against West Ham, the deficit will be just 5 points with a game in hand on Slot's crop. While Arsenal should not bank on an ailing Man City to put another dent in Liverpool's title aspirations, Saturday's hosts should be confident of doing all they can even in their strikerless state, as the Gunners are the only team in the Premier League with their unbeaten home record for the season still intact. Not since April last year have Arteta's men been slain in a Premier League home game, navigating each of their last 15 without suffering defeat, but visitors West Ham only have to rewind a few days for their latest setback at the London Stadium. A 12-day break in between matches arguably did the Irons more harm than good, as Kevin Shade's 4th-minute strike, which only just crossed the line despite the best efforts of Alphonse Areola, settled last weekend's capital derby in Brentford's favour. Unlike at Chelsea, where his tenure commenced with a terrific 9-game unbeaten run before things turned sour, Graham Potter has not brought the famed new manager bounce to West Ham, who sit 16th in the table but at least have a healthy 10-point buffer over the relegation zone. The Irons may have left the Emirates with a shock 2-0 win to their name last term, but they have since conceded 11 goals to Arteta's men in harrowing 6-0 and 5-2 home losses, meaning that Arsenal could now score 5+ goals in 3 straight league games against a single team for the first time in the Premier League era.